So I know you served on the conservation committee in town for a while, and now you're the new director. How'd you end up in Hopkinton?
I'm a resident. I ended up in Hopkinton. We moved here about 11 years ago. We came for the convenience to the roads and the good school system and a lot of the amenities we have. And I've been in public works now for almost about the same amount of time. So I was hoping for an opportunity to work for my own town. And when the former DPW director left, I just jumped at the opportunity. So that's how I ended up here.
How'd you get involved with public works?
That is a long story. So I've always had a passion for public service since a kid. I think my parents must have instilled that in me. I was in the military. I worked in consulting for a little while, and I just didn't find it to be as satisfying as I thought it would be. I missed that connection to the community. I missed just dealing with different things, not focusing on profitability, like really focusing on the mission, which is something that we did in the military. And I looked at the projects I like to work on and the people I like to work with, and it was all in the public service. And in the military, we're at the federal level, big picture. And I liked being at the small municipal level because you could really connect with people. You can really see the impact that your projects do. And that's when I was able to transition from consulting into public sector. I worked for the city of Framingham and then more recently the city of Worcester before here. And I did some volunteer service, and I just really like that impact, doing work that you can see the results.
What did young Kerry think she would be doing for a living? Did you always think you'd go into public works before or no?
No, actually. So when I was little, I thought I was going to be a famous author. I wanted to be the next Judy Blume, which when I talk to kids now, I'm like the next J.K. Rowling or something like that. And they all laughed at me. And it wasn't until, I shouldn't say it wasn't, but I thought I was going to be an author. And then in 7th grade, I had a great science teacher. We had earth sciences. So up till then, we were learning about magnets and science and space. And I didn't think I liked science because I didn't like any of those things. And then I took the earth science class, and I really liked it, and it came easy to me. And I had a great mentor. Again, this is 7th grade, who encouraged me to go to this environmental camp that was being sponsored by our local utility, where I grew up. And I went and we toured wastewater treatment plants and water treatment plants, landfills, incinerators, all this stuff that I'd been driving past and never knew what they were. And it really started getting my mind thinking about going into environmental fields, and totally switched from writing and English and that kind to science. But even all throughout high school, when I went to school, I thought I wanted to do environmental science. I didn't think of myself as an engineer. I thought engineers are people that really like math and like to build things and all that stuff, and that wasn't me. And even throughout school, I thought I'm going to be a scientist. And then when I was at school, so I went to West Point. Everybody has to take an engineering course. And the difference between the engineering major and the environmental science major was 2 classes, either engineering classes, which I was doing pretty well in, or like 2 computer science classes, which I did not like. So I kind of fell into engineering. And even in the military, at first, I didn't think of myself as an engineer because we all have that stereotype of what an engineer is supposed to be. And being in the military as an Army engineer, we started taking a lot of pride in ourselves. We build it up and all the neat things we did. And I realized engineering is just a fancy way to say that you're a problem solver. So that's kind of how I ended up being an engineer. And now I'm proud of it, and I really kind of define myself as it. But when I was young, I would have never pictured myself in this realm of work. And it probably wasn't, except for those amazing 7th to 8th grade science teachers I had that set me on this path.